Welcome to Module 6 of Nstp 1. This module will be dealing with the distinguishing factor between leader and leadership. Leaders' relationship to the team and types of leadership and leadership choices that is to empower or to direct. So this is basically another reading for the NSTP module for college students. So module 6 is basically leadership. Welcome to the module 6 of NSTP 1. This module will be dealing with the distinguishing factor between leader and leadership, leader's relationship to the team and type of leadership, and leadership choices that is to empower or to direct. At the end of this module, we will be able to, number one, differentiate leader vis-a-vis leadership. Number two, explain the characteristic of contributing leader, collaborating leader, communicating leader, and challenging leader. Number three, determine the impact of various types of leadership. Number four is concretize the principle of servant leadership. And number five, evaluate the leadership in terms of empowering and directing an organization. Leader and leadership definition. So what is the leader and leadership definition? What is leader? Leader, who actually a leader is. So what is leader? Who actually a leader is. As a guide, where, so who actually is the leader is? A leader is a guide where the leader assumes the role of the director, the role as a director, organizer, mentor, guru, advisor, and leader is also a front runner. Where the leader can be a spearhead, leading light, trailblazer, and groundbreaker. Number three, leader is as a head, where he or she can be called chief, manager, superior, principal, boss, and supervisor. NSTP Book 1, 2015. So number four is clarity, confidence, and courage. A leader is someone who has the clarity to know the right things to do, the confidence to know when she's wrong, and the courage to do right things even when they are hard. Darcy Aikenberg, founder, redcaperevolution.com. Number five is building the next generation of leaders. A leader is someone who builds their team, mentors them, and then advocates for them. A leader develops the talent around them to be more successful than he or she is. Or to borrow from a mentor of mine, a leader trains his and her assassins. J. Kelly Hoey, author of Build Your Dream Network. Number 6 is building followership. Being a leader means building followership. Your primary responsibility is how you can inspire those around you to support a larger agenda under your direction and vision. You have to prioritize communications and the development of others. Your job is no longer about what you can do, what you can accomplish, but what your entire team can achieve. Good leaders focus on what we, not me. Christy Hedges, leadership coach and author, The Inspiration Code, Leaders and Leadership, 2003. What is leadership? Leadership refers to an extremely wide range of roles that have profound influence on the world. The range is so wide, in fact, that sometimes the term leadership seems to include almost everyone. Indeed, some corporations have adopted the slogan, "Everyone is a leader." A word which can refer to any person at any level of an organization in any field, living or dead, who significantly influences others so for good or ill is so broad as to be as a questionable utility. Consequently, as the patriarch of modern leadership studies, James MacGregor Burns, observed, leadership is one of the most observed and least understood phenomena on earth. Another analyst in the field elaborates, leadership studies have suffered from a lack of common language. The English word leadership originates in the ancient root "lead," which meant to go forth and die, as in battle. To go forth and die, as in battle. By this definition, those who lead Group A to commit violence against Group B are leaders. Even if we remove the violence from the equation, and even if the leader represents some higher cause of value, the word still means the act of mobilizing one group to dominate or vanquish another. Particularly in our shrinking, interconnected world, this is not particularly inspiring or comprehensive portrait of leadership. Leader and Leadership, 2003. Leadership is subjective, but its foundation stems from one thing: the ability of an individual to establish a following among other individuals or teams. Every leader has his or her own style and strategy. Further, their leadership styles and method will vary because they are influenced by multiple factors. The modern challenges all businesses leaders face today: digitalization, changing regulatory and financial markets, recruiting and retaining talent, coupled with predicaments specific to their company size, and the industry in which the business is based. Business News Daily asks current leaders and founders to explain what leadership means to them. There's an 11 way to define leadership, 2017. Number 1, the pursuit of bettering your environment. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. answer key or formula to leadership. Ah, let me read it again. There's no one. There's no one size. There's no one. There's no one size fits all approach, answer key, or formula to leadership. Leadership should be the humble, authentic expression or other unique personality in pursuit of bettering whatever environment you are in. Katie Christie, founder, Activate Your Talent. Number 2 is knowing your team and yourself well. To me, leadership is about playing to strengths and addressing weaknesses in the most productive and efficient way possible. It's about knowing your team and yourself and doing your best job to set both up for success. Samantha Cohen, co-founder, Neon Bandits. Number 3, giving people the tools to succeed. Leadership is serving the people that work for you by giving them the tools they need to succeed. Your worker should be looking forward to the customer and not backwards, over their shoulders at you. It also means genuine praise for what goes well and leading by taking responsibility early and immediately if things go bad. Jordan French, founding CMO BHEX Incorporated 3D Food Printing. Open, authentic, and positive influence. Leadership comes from influence, and influence can come from anyone at any level and in any role. Being open and authentic, helping to lift others up, and working towards a common mission build influence. True leadership comes when those around you are influenced by your life in a positive way. Kurt O'Hear, CEO and co-founder of Sidekick. Number 5, building consensus and common goals. Leadership styles differ, but at the core, good leaders make the people they are leading accomplish more than they otherwise would. The most effective leaders to leaders do this not through fear. The most effective leaders do this not through fear. Okay. The most effective leaders do this not through fear, intimidation, or title, but rather by building consensus around a common goal. Tom Madden, CEO and President, Worldwide Express. Number 6 is being the solution to problem. Leadership is the ability to see a problem and be the solution. So many people are willing to talk about problems or can even empathize, but not many can see the problem or challenge and rise to it. It takes a leader to truly see a problem as challenge and want to drive toward it. Andrea Walker, Lady, owner, Walker Publicity Consulting. Number 7, helping others achieve the impossible. Leadership is the ability to help people achieve things that they don't think that are possible. Leaders are coaches with a passion for developing people, not players. They get satisfaction from achieving objects through others. Leaders inspire people through a shared vision and create an environment where people feel valued and fulfilled. Randy Stocklin, co-founder and CEO, One Click Ventures. Number 8, actively listening. In my experience, leadership is about 3 things: to listen, to inspire, and to empower. Over the years, I've tried to learn to do a much better job of listening actively, making sure I really understand the other person's point of view, learning from them, and using the basis of trust and collaboration to inspire and empower. Larry Garfield, President, Garfield Group. Leaders' relationship to the team. Category Description, Nstp, Book 1, 2012, 2015. Number 1, Contributing Leader. Contributing leaders such as serve as a technical expert for the team. Keep the team on track with the mission. Try too hard to be light-hearted and witty. Try to get all points of view out in the open. Sure of the facts. Driven by expected result. Work harder for participation from all members. Criticizing an action that the team anonymously support. With every high standard requires the participation of all team members. Establish casual, friendly relation with team members. Achieve result efficiency as possible. He or she, based on the original charter or mission statement for the team with regards to decision making. Worries on how team members interrelate. Independent, dependable, and hardworking. Collaborating leader. Remind the team often of the mission. Maintain good interpersonal relations among team members. Too blunt in telling team members what he or she thinks during stressful situation. Explain her or his point of view as clearly as possible. Flexible and understanding. Call a summit meeting to the team to get back on track. Call a summit meeting to the team to get back on track. Motivating the team to higher standard. A leader who sometimes can see the big picture. Excellent listening skills. Focus as soon as possible on goals and procedures. Work with the team so that they participate in goal setting. Challenging the team processes in the eagerness to obtain results. Challenging the team ideas too severely. Reliable. Dedicated. Understanding the importance of working well together. Number 3, communicating leader. Try to involve everyone in decision making. Disseminate comprehensively the activities, goals to the members. Trying to involve everyone in a meeting during stressful discussion. View conflict as a sign that changes are needed in team processes. Supportive leader. Sure of his or her position. Increase efforts to provide more and better information for the team. Insist the team turn its attention to the goals and mission. Expressing the ideas and suggestions outside his or her area of expertise. A leader who is more interested on how the team works than what it accomplishes. Have courage in asking unpopular and difficult questions during problem-solving processes. Understand the team expectation as a leader. Involve all team members in decision-making. Forgetting team processes in the eagerness to obtain result. Visionary. Supportive and friendly. Compromise when necessary to achieve consensus. Number 4, challenging leader. Point out where she or he think the team is going astray. Provide necessary objections and devil's advocate debate. Seek the advice of outsiders in understanding team problems. Try to diffuse conflict by humor or friendliness. An honest and straightforward leader, tempted toward quick fixes. Insist that the team turn its attention to the goals and mission. Giving a team member evaluation on how he or she relates to other members. Obsessed with details. Giving reliable information during problem-solving processes. Make sure everyone shares the same essential information about team's assignment or project. Encourage the expression of contrary opinions and ideas. In decision-making processes, she or he based on the merits of the evidence. Concentrating too much on big picture issues and ignoring small team achievements. Sociable, honest, meet deadlines and live within resources limitations. Servant leadership. The law of service. He who wishes to live long must serve. But he who wishes to rule does not live long. Heman His. While the idea of servant leadership goes back at least 2,000 years, the modern servant leadership movement was launched by Robert K. Greenleaf in 1970 with the publication of his classic essay, The Servant as Leader. It was in that essay that he coined the word servant leader and servant leadership. Greenfield defined that servant leader as follows. The servant leader is servant first. It begins with a natural feeling that one wants to serve first. Then conscious choice brings one to aspire to lead. That person is sharply different from one who is leader first. Perhaps because of the need to assuage an unusual power drive or to acquire material possessions, the leader first and the servant first are two extreme types. Between them, there are shading and blends that are part of the infinite variety of human nature. The differences manifest itself in the care taken by the servant first to make sure that other people's highest priority needs are being served. The best test and difficult to administer is, do those served grow as person? Do they, while being served, become healthier, wiser, freer, more autonomous, more likely themselves to become a servant? And what is the effect on the least privileged in the society? Will they benefit? Will they benefit or at least not be further deprived? Greenleaf said that the servant leader is servant first. By that he meant that the desire to serve, the servant heart, is a fundamental characteristic of a servant leader. It is not about being servile. It is about wanting to help others. It is about identifying and meeting the needs of colleagues, customers, and communities. To Serve First 2017. So who is this Hermann Hesse? This is a fast fact. Hermann Hesse is a German novelist and poet, often hailed as one of the greatest German writers. a Nobel Prize winning author known for novels like Peter Kamenzind, Siddhartha, and Narcissus and Goldmund, among others. Robert K. Greenleaf, the founder of the modern servant leadership movement and the Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership. Greenleaf was born in Terre Haute, Indiana in 1904. After graduating from Carleton College in Minnesota, he went to work for AT&T, then the American Telephone and Telegraph Company. For the next 40 years, he researched management, development, and education. All along, he felt a growing suspicion that the power-centered authoritarian leadership style so prominent in U.S. institutions was not working. And in 1964, he took an early retirement to found the Greenleaf Center for Servant Leadership, first called the Center for Applied Ethics. So we have here the 10 principles of servant leadership. Nstp Book 1, 2015. 10 principles include the listening. Six, six to identify the will of a group and helps clarify that will. The servant leader The servant leader seeks up, listen, listen receptively to what is being said. Again, number one is listening. Seeks to identify that will, number one is listening. Seeks to identify the will of a group and help clarify that will. The servant leader seeks up, listen receptively to what is being said. Number two is empathy. Strive to understand and empathize with others. People need to be accepted and recognized for their special and unique spirits. Number three is healing. Becomes one of the greatest strengths of servant leadership. The potential for healing oneself and others, whereby many people have broken spirit and have suffered from a variety of emotional hurts. Number four is awareness. Aid the servant leader in understanding issues that involve ethics and values and view most situations from more integrated and holistic position. Number five is persuasion. Remind servant leaders to give primary reliance on persuasion rather than positional authority in making decisions within an organization. Number six is conceptualization. Seek to nurture the servant leader abilities to dream great dreams. The ability to look to a problem from conceptualizing perspective means that one must think beyond day-to-day realities with sensible and functional ideas. Number seven is foresight. Enable the servant leader to understand the lesson and events from the past, the realities and phenomena of the present, and the likely impact of decision for the future. Number eight is stewardship. Prioritize the needs of others and emphasizes the use of openness and persuasion rather than control. Number nine is commitment to the growth of people. Make servant leader believe that people have an essential value beyond their concrete contribution as workers. Thereby, the servant leader is deeply committed to the growth of each individual. Number 10, building community. Suggests that true community can be created among those who work in businesses and other institutions. Autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership is an extreme form of transactional leadership, where a leader exert where a leader exert high levels of power over his or her employees or team members. People within the team are given few opportunities for making suggestions, even if this would be in the team or organization's interest. Most people tend to resent being treated like this. Because of this, autocratic leadership usually leads to high levels of absenteeism and staff turnover. Also, the team's output does not benefit from the creativity and experience of all team members. So many of the benefits of teamwork are lost. For some routine and unskilled jobs, however, this style can remain effective where the advantage of control outweighed. Bureaucratic leadership. Bureaucratic leaders work by the book, ensuring that their staff follow procedures exactly. This is very appropriate style for work and involving serious safety risks such as working with machinery with toxic substances or at heights, or where large sum of money are involved such as cash handling. In other situations, the inflexibility and high levels of control exerted can demoralize staff and can diminish the organization's ability to react to changing external circumstances. Charismatic leadership. A charismatic leadership style can appear similar to a transformational leadership style, in that the leader injects huge doses of enthusiasm into his or her team and is very energetic in driving others forward. However, a charismatic leader can tend to believe more in him or herself than in their team. This can create a risk that a project or even an entire organization might collapse if the leader were to leave. In the eyes of their followers, success is tied up with the presence of charismatic leader. As such, charismatic leadership carries great responsibility and needs long-term commitment from the leader. Democratic leadership or participative leadership. Although a democratic leader will make the final decision, he or she invites other members of the team to contribute to the decision-making process. This not only increases job satisfaction by involving employees or team members in what's going on, but it's also helped to develop people skills. Employees and team members feel in control of their own destiny and so are motivated to work hard by more than just a financial reward. As participation takes time, this style can lead to things happening more slowly than an autocratic approach, but often the end result is better. It can be most suitable where team working is essential and quality is more important than speed, market, or productivity. The laissez-faire leadership. This French press praise this French praise means let them do. So laissez-faire is let them do. And this is used to describe a leader who leaves his or her colleagues to get on with their work. It can be effective if the leader monitors what is being achieved and communicates this back to his or her team regularly. Most often, laissez-faire leadership works for teams in which the individuals are very experienced and skilled self-starters. Unfortunately, It can also refer to situations where managers are not exerting sufficient control. People-oriented leadership or relations-oriented leadership. This style of leadership is the opposite of task-oriented leadership. The leader is totally focused on organizing, supporting, and developing the people in leader's team. A participative style intends to lead to good teamwork and creative collaboration. However, taken to extreme, it can lead a failure to achieve the team's goals. In practice, most leaders use both task-oriented and people-oriented styles of leadership. Task-oriented leadership. A highly task-oriented leader focuses only on getting the job done, and it be quite autocratic, He or she will actively define the work and the roles required, put structures in place, plan, organize, and monitor. However, as task-oriented leaders spare little thought for the well-being of their teams. This approach can suffer many of the flaws of autocratic leadership with difficulties in motivating and retaining staff. Task-oriented uh, task-oriented leaders can benefit from the understanding of the Blake-Newton managerial grid, which can help them identify specific areas for development and will help them involve more people more. Transactional leadership. This style of leadership starts with the premise that team members agree to obey their leader totally when they take a job on. The transaction is usually that the organization pays the team members in return for their effort and compliance. As such, the leader has the right to punish teams The leader has the right to punish team members if their work doesn't meet the predetermined standard. Team members can do little to improve their job satisfaction under transactional leadership. The leader could give team members some control of their income reward by using incentive that encourage even higher standard or greater productivity. Alternatively, a transactional leader could practice management by exception, whereby rather than rewarding better work, he or she would take corrective action if the required standards were not met. Transactional leadership is really just a way of managing rather than a true leadership style, as the focus in as the focus is on short-term tasks. It has serious limitations for knowledge-based or creative work, but remains a common style in many organizations. Transformational leadership. A person with this leadership style is true leader who inspire his or her team with a shared vision of the future. Transformational leaders are highly visible and spend a lot of time communicating. They don't necessarily lead from the front as they tend to delegate responsibility amongst their teams. While their enthusiasm is often infectious, they can need to be supported by detailed people. In many organizations, both transactional and transformational leadership are needed. The transactional leaders or the managers ensure that routine work is done reliably, while the transformational leaders Look after initiatives that add values. The transformational leadership style is the dominant leadership style. It's a dominant leadership style taught in the How to Lead. Discover the leader with you leadership program, although we do recommend that other styles are brought as the situation demands. Using the right style is situational leadership. While the transformation leadership approach is often highly effective, there is no one right to lead or manage that suits all situations. To choose the most effective approach for you, you must consider number one, the skill levels and experience of the member of your team. Number two, the work involved routine or new and creative. Number three is the organizational environment. It should be stable or radically changing or conservative or adventurous. You own preferred or a natural style. A good leader will find him or herself switching instinctively between styles according to the people and work they are dealing with. This is often referred as situational leadership. For example, the manager of a small factory trains new machine operatives using a bureaucratic style to ensure operatives knows the procedure that achieves the right standards of product quality and workplace safety. The same manager may adopt a more participative style of leadership when working on production line improvement with his or her team of supervisors. So it's from the Management Library of 2017. So there's a leadership choices, empowerment or direction. Nstp Book 1, 2015. Empowering leadership. We have this characteristic. Give workers responsibility and authority. Teach and learn. Involve group members in important decisions. Pay attention to the feelings of workers. Delegate tasks efficiently. Encourage skilled workers to find best practices for work tasks. Demonstrate expertise in technical matters. Provide time for consensus decision making by group members. Encourage workers to resolve their conflicts. Keep workers motivated. Listen to the opinion of workers. Manage a company widely known as a great place to work. Accept work standards developed by the workers themselves. Reward knowledge and ability. Hire based on future promised. Develop mission and vision statement with group members. Turn quality control over to workers themselves. Distribute power. Anticipate change. Develop the ability of workers. Directive leadership. What is the characteristic of directive leadership? Number one, supervise the work of others carefully. Manage and direct. Make most important decision alone. Focus primarily on the performance of workers. Show by the example what hard work and long hours mean. Give specific skilled workers to find best practices for work tasks. Praise and reward demonstration of expertise by workers. Make executive decisions promptly. Encourage workers to resolve their own conflicts. Keep workers informed. Share their experience with workers. Run a tight ship. Set standards for worker performance. Reward effort and performance. Hire based on past accomplishment. Develop mission and statement alone or with a small executive committee. Call attention to mistakes by workers. Accumulate power. Control operations. And protect the interest of workers. So we have here the reference and supplementary materials. All of these content is from the NSTP Book 1, page 42 to 55. Kilang Alexander et al., Jim Saiville Publications, Malabon City. Copyright 2015, ISBN 978-971-9676065. To serve first by toservefirst.com, June 2017. 11 Ways to Define Leadership, Host J, www.businessnewswidely.com. And that's all for tonight. Maraming salamat po sa nag-standby sa akin. Thank you po. And this topic is about the basic leadership and NSP reading. Maraming salamat po. Paalam na po. Good night. God bless you all.